All right. Yay. Hey, boss. Hey, how are you today? It's your girl, LaShonda Henry here, aka Sister Sense. Always excited to share things you can do to work on your money, marketing, and sales goals too with strategy and intention. Come on in to the virtual building. Hey, Pink Leaf Consulting is in the house. Welcome, y'all. I am back for day 9 of our conversation around things that you can do to position yourself for profit. So 2 things. Number 1, drop into the comment box for me your name and business title so I can see, shout you out. Number 1. Number 2, yes or no, did you go and get your positioned to profit planner over at sistasense.com/PTPSA? It's absolutely free today. An opportunity for us to work on some things that you need to do to position yourself for profit, get clear about your new year goals. Hey, Carlin, welcome. So drop your name into the comment box so that I can see. Share this out. Tag your business besties who also want to work on their position to profit, money marketing, and sales goals. And let me know if you've grabbed the assessment yet. If not, make sure that you go again over to sistasense.com/PTPSA to grab yours. There are 30 questions to ask to help you get clear about your next best business step when it comes to your growth goals and figuring out what areas you need to work on. So there are 6 areas. We spent the first 5 days talking about predictions, things that if you need to get focused when it comes to positioning yourself for profit that I predict you need to work on. Now, number 2, we're going into plans. And I've been sharing with you different types of plans that you need to consider. Today, we're talking about engagement, right? The question here is yes or no. Do you have an engagement plan for your prospective clients and your previous ones, right? Do you have a plan in place to engage your audience? Yes or no? Keep in mind, for this particular self-assessment, you've got 30 questions. And all of them are yes or no questions. You can literally answer this in like 10, 15 minutes, right? But I am for 30 days digging in every day to each of these questions so I can give you a little bit more clarity and direction, okay? So I want you to think about that. Do you have a plan in place? Hey, Angela, welcome. Awesome to see you here, my dear. Pink Leaf Consultant says yes. Good. Now, if you say no, let's talk about a few things that you can do. Or if you say yes, of course, you can also add these things to what's WWW already working for you. I always say work what works. Okay. So before we dig into the last question, which is engagement underneath the plans section, let's go over yes or no, the other things that you need to be thinking about. Do you have an acquisition plan to acquire new customers? That was the first one, yes or no. Do you have an acquisition plan to acquire new customers? Number 2, do you have a build plan to develop and deliver irresistible offers, right? Do you have a solid plan in place so you know what products and what irresistible offers you're going to create and how you're going to deliver them? Yes or no? Number 3, do you have a content marketing plan so that you can consistently, creatively drop on social media platforms and share great content that allows you to stay connected with your existing customers and attract new ones? Number 3. Number 4, do you have a daily plan to help you do more and deliver more on a consistent basis? So working on your productivity. Do you have a daily implementation plan in place? And today, the last question underneath plans is, again, do you have an engagement plan for your prospects and previous customers? Yes or no? This is an AIMS activity to help you AIMS figure out, am I missing something? And honestly, for each of these, the goal here is you give yourself 5 points every time you say no. And the more points you have, the more things that you can see that you strategically need to work on when it comes to, again, strategically positioning yourself for profit, right? And again, friendly reminder as we dig into the session for today, just to remind you, you can go over to SizzleSense.com/PTPSA to grab your self-assessment and learn more about how to fire start your year with strategy and intention. We're actually into the first day of the Fire Start Your Year webinar workshop experience. So we've got 2 days. The other day is tomorrow. And so it's really been a great experience for me to share it with you guys virtually and even via these day-by-day web classes. And if you want to learn just a side note about Fire Start Your Year, the webinar workshop, the live and the replays, in addition to this self-assessment, make sure that you take a look at that website, which is firestartyouryear.com. So, all right, I'm going to share with you a few things that I do to engage both prospective clients, potential clients, and my previous clients as well. The first thing that I want to talk to you is about conversations, right? Having conversations with your audience, right? So that you are basically engaging verbally, virtually, right? One of the things that I love to say is if you have a question for me, feel free to go to the SizzleSense.com website. And while you're there, click the gray tab on the right to send me a voice message. So creating a space where people can initiate conversations with me is very important, right? And so I have that voice message resource on pretty much all of my websites and my sales pages so that people can check in, right? They can communicate. That helps to, again, create a space of conversation if they have questions, if they need me to follow up with them on anything. And honestly, I love voice messaging because I'm a social introvert. I don't like to spend a lot of time on a lot of calls. Other than Wednesday, when I strategically do my clarity calls with clients, voice messaging allows me to, at my pace, at my time, on my own time, check in with people and communicate with them without, those really long or bunch of free consultations. I don't really do all of that stuff. So side note. But another thing to consider when it comes to conversations is questions. And I talk about questions on a couple of levels. Number one, you posing questions to your audience allows you to open up conversations that you want to dig into. So today I was like, hey, what are you guys working on this weekend? I'm working on the Fire Start Your Year weekend workshop. If you want to work on your business with me, dive in, go over to Fire Start Your Year, right? So an opportunity to engage and get people talking, right? What questions can you ask? Number one. Number two, what questions can you answer, right? Creating a space of engagement where you are, answering the questions that people have posed. And honestly, here's the thing. I love to answer questions that people send me privately, publicly. Let me explain. So being in a place where I can say, you know what, this week I had one of my potential clients reach out to me. She DM'd me and said, hey, LaShonda, I've got a question. I want to get into digital products. I'm a single mom. Do you have any resources that can help me? And I said, absolutely. One of the things that you can do is go over to SizzleSense.com/EEC so that you can take a look at what I've created. It's called the Easy Ebook Challenge. You can start there. I do have some other things, but that's a great starting point, right? So that's an opportunity for me to answer that person, but then also to come on and say, hey, anybody else want some help or direction or support around digital products? Are you trying to figure out how to get started? Here's a client or potential client. She was trying to, this is what I shared with her. If you want to use that as well, there you go, right? So when I communicate with individual prospective clients, a lot of times I will then share that same information in a larger virtual conversation so that I can work with more people, right? Connect with more people on that level. Which brings me to number two, which is content, right? So ultimately, one way that I engage is making sure that I've got content that I've created to share with my audience, right? So I today was working on my Fire Start Your Year workshop. I did that with quite a few of my mentees. We did day one, then we're going into day two. Before I even started, I jumped onto social media and said, hey, y'all, here are 3 things that you need to be working on. If you want to Fire Start Your Year, you got to work on the products you want to create this year, the pages you want to work and share this year, and the plans that you want to put into place, that you want to put in motion. So literally, I did about a 15-minute live touching on some of the things that I touched on in more detail as part of the workshop. So creating content and experiences where I give people an opportunity to try a little before they say, ooh, I like that. I like that. I want to buy a little bit more, right? The try buy experience. Those are some things that I do honestly to work on engagement. And thank you, by the way, for the hearts and the likes and the love. I see you guys are doing all of that. Tap, 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 tap. If you're enjoying this and other conversations that I've been creating to engage with you as part of this experience. And so another thing for me is a combination of the conversations and the content. In the process of me doing the Fire Start Your Year live, I really didn't realize this, but it was a pleasant surprise. I went into my private Facebook group, well, one of them anyway, and I saw a couple of the ladies were posting pictures of my Fire Start Your Year planner. They're like, drinking coffee, working in the planner. Oh my gosh, this is so amazing. And I was like, I love it. That's engagement, being in a place where you can encourage and create a space, like having that Facebook group, a community for people to create conversations with you around the content that they've purchased from you is amazing, right? And as I was doing the live experience, the live webinar workshop, I was honestly saying to people, hey, what's your feedback on the workshop? As you create things, go in the Facebook group and share the things that you're creating today. So ladies, we worked on creating landing pages, starter websites. We worked on creating little simple sales pages to sell individual products. It was so much fun. We did a lot of good stuff today. And they were, sharing it with me. I was taking pictures of that and encouraging them to share that because that allows them to engage, but then also it's momentum, right? It's other people in the community going, oh, I see that. I like that. And wanting to follow suit. So when it comes to engagement, yeah, I got a plan. I work really well. I'm really hard at creating conversations with my audience. It's not about our body, but the right bodies of people who consistently follow and communicate with you, number one. And number two, I work on the content that I share in such a way that when I put it out there, I'm encouraging people to follow suit and respond to the content and feed back into the experience. And I like I always say, it doesn't mean that everybody responds, and it doesn't mean that it's crazy numbers of people responding. It means that the right people are responding, and when they're intently and genuinely listening to you, they convert. Because it doesn't matter if you've got 1 million people watching you and they're just like, that's great, that's like, and they're not converting, they're not processing. It's more important for you to have the right people watching you and really excited about the things that you do. Okay. And the last thing that I would say is my connections, thinking about the people who are connected with me and making sure I stay connected with them. Right. So interestingly enough, as part of the Fire Start Your Year workshop today, we were talking about continuity where you can create subscription-based offers. And we talked about one-time offers when people just kind of buy things and go away. Okay. I'm thinking about one of my particular clients who I've been working with. She signed up for 2 of my offers. No, honestly, 3. I want to say she signed up for my content club, and then she signed up for 2 service packages with me, invested about $1,000 in working with me in between those multiple packages, right? And one of the things that I love to do to maintain my connection with clients is client appreciation, right? Client appreciation. And so I will periodically, when I do things like workshops or live or in-person workshops or live ones virtually, is I'll reach out to those clients and say, hey, what are you doing? I appreciate you. It's been great working with you. If you want some more value here, I'm going to gift you access to ... So said client, I said to her, hey, this weekend I'm doing the Fire Start Your Year workshop. I want to gift you access to watch the live, right? And so I gifted her access to watch the live, and all of a sudden I saw that she signed up for the replays of the experience. And then also she signed up. I wanted to say signed in, and that's so bad. That's so bad grammar. Something in me wants to say she signed it in. Like, no, that's bad grammar. No. So gifting her the live, she signed up for the replays and also signed up for my mastermind as well. One of the ways that I engage and stay connected to previous customers, again, is creating those conversations, working on that engaging content and customer appreciation, just checking in and saying, hey, thank you so much. I value you. Here's something that I want to offer you either for free or at a reduced rate, and keeping the communication open. Some of y'all, you sell things, but it's like nameless sells. You never really get to know those customers. You don't know their names. And I try to intently make sure that I am aware of the people who value what I do and invest, and they work with me. Sometimes there was somebody who said, oh, you don't remember me, but I checked in and I worked with you. And I'm like, I try to remember as many people as possible because it matters. And it feels good to know that, somebody, you're just not a number, or you're just not a dollar sign, but you're a person that they honestly, they see you and they appreciate you supporting their business, and they value you and hope that you've gained something from working with them. At least that's just the way I feel. So I wanted to be able to come on here and again encourage you to think about that question. Do you have an engagement plan? Things that work, what works, right? Things that work for you when it comes to engaging prospective clients and previous customers too. Plus, again, I say every day that I do this, I just kind of want to give you a little bit more meat, which is why I wanted to share some examples of things that I do. So hopefully that's helpful to you. Again, number one, don't forget, turn on alerts and notifications so you can see when I'm live, so you can jump on here live with me. This is actually day 9 of this 30-day conversation. So if you want to catch the other ones, feel free to check in with me. Love those invites. It's the quality of your people watching versus tons of nosy folks that are peeping just to see, right, what you're up to. I love that. And I absolutely agree with that as well. So great point, Jacqueline. So y'all, that's it for today. Again, don't forget to grab your self-assessment. It's absolutely free. It gives you an opportunity to reflect on some things that you should be working on to fire start your year, and not just your year, honestly, but every quarter, every month with intention. When you sign up, you're also going to get access to a free download of my Fire Start Your Year planner. You get to plug and play in that as well. And ladies are posting lots of photos of them having the full version. So you get, a free sneak peek version of that, plus a few other goodies that I want to share with you. So again, to get inside of the Fire Start Your Year webinar workshop experience that's happening right now, you can go over to firestartyouryear.com and learn more about that. But of course, the Position to Profit self-assessment that you see here. Right now, we're going into plans. We're talking about plans. That's the second part. You can grab that over at sistasense.com/PTPSA. Okay. So, all right, y'all, that's it for today. I will see you back here for some more fire, Sister Sense style. Always here to help you guys stay focused and fired up. Make sure that you do what you need to do to create amazing. And of course, if you want to check in with me, feel free to email sistasense@gmail.com. That's it till tomorrow. That's it for today. Take care.